jammies. I regret nothing. We'll angle the camera. I don't know why, but lately I can't seem to go the other way. So we're just going to have to deal, I guess. I'm just going to make sure I can see everyone. I've let you all know that I'm here. That's like most of the struggle, really. Okay, so we're doing some night sewing. I mean, I suppose it's quite, is it ironic or coincidence that the one that I'm going to be sewing just happens to be a vertical version of Hussy. Good evening. Hello. Oh, or I should do the red one because I've already got red in my machine. I've got 3 made. We'll see how much sewing I actually get done. Hi, Misty. Hi, Raven. I don't know how far we're going to get, right? I'm going to be very honest. I am not a nighttime sewer. It's 3 a.m. Holy moly. I don't ever do nighttime sewing. I'm not a nighttime person, but we had dinner really early. I also am slowly changing my hair. I have discovered something called brown shampoo. So the more I wash it, the more brown it's gonna get. But today it looks like rose gold and I'm not mad. So expect to see my hair constantly different from this point forward. And we're not judging. It's gonna be wonderful. Hi, Michelle. 4 a.m. Why are you all on here? I mean, I love and appreciate you for coming. I'm literally in my jammies. I'm in my fluffy pants that have donuts on them. Oh my god. And this is my Christmas jammy because we all had matching ones. Anyway. The hair's going to be fabulous. I've just decided I don't want to be blonde anymore. It's been a long time coming, to be fair. So I'm scrap busting like a mofo. I have eliminated lots of little bit of scraps. This piece, this was a scrap. We got enough for this and like one of the Faye pouches and we're done. I'm a vampire. Bedtime is 7 a.m. See, that's fair. Okay. I am not a night person, so I'm hoping to get through at least 2, but I make no official promises, all right? Don't be mad if I pass out and need to leave. Anyway, so this one's going to be like super colorful. I've got half the zipper is blue, half of it's white, the strap's yellow, the stitching's red, the lining's red. That's why I did the stitching. I'm just all over the shop with this one, but I'm not mad about it. There is a lot more pink in this than I probably would have liked. Hi, Palma. Welcome, welcome. So anyway, I've been up since 3 a.m. Yay! I've been a busy beaver today. I went lots of places seeing if I could get someone to change my hair. Drove around for ages. I went to several shops. And I ended up going to one shop and they're like, have you heard about brown shampoo? And I was like, nah. And they're like, the more you leave it in, the more your hair goes brown. So I sat for half an hour with it in and I'm like, pretty good, pretty good. Oh my god, Tori, I found another scrap buster for you. I will post it. Okay. I got my Devon templates in the mail. So my next big live, after I finish all of the hussies I've cut out, because I want 10. So I've cut 10 bits of, like, sets of foam, 10 sets of the interfacing, and I have picked 9 exteriors from my scraps. I am only using scrap if I can help it. So far, I've only used scrap. I'm sure we're going to get to a point where that's no longer an option, except for lining. All the linings are going to be waterproof canvas. So I'm just using what I've got, and it's fine. But it's going really well. So this next one that I've got here, this was a scrap. This was a panel. This one's also going to be vertical instead of horizontal because we can, which means I should maybe make a second one horizontal. rather than just have one odd one out. Maybe I should have two and it feels more intentional. And then this other one that I have also cut out is the last of the Lord of the Rings. So, yay! I've also done a Skull, a Harry Potter, a My Little Pony, and the last of the zombie pinups. So most of them eliminated the rest of their fabric. So I have no more My Little Pony, no more zombie pinups. I think I got rid of that piece of Harry Potter as well. I'm feeling good about this. This one is on wristlets. See, I love a good wristlet. I'm really into hussies, and I'm making a point to sit and do all of the stuff unless it's a custom order. So I also have to make a zip around wallet by Billy50. Billy50 has a new website. I plan on posting it. I will go back through all my old videos and relink her designs. So if you've watched me do a Billy50 bag and you're like, oh no, the link doesn't work. Well, good news, I can fix that. So anyway, that's happening. Oh, our tail did it like a bird's nest nightmare. Stop that. Stop that. I'm loving the Sailor Moon. The Sailor Moon is very cute. I was just feeling it. And I'm thinking yellow zipper, because there's a lot of yellow and the handle was yellow. So yellow handle, and then that will continue around the zipper. Let's see what color yellows we got, because I have no idea. Ooh, here we go. So the perfect world, I want to use up these. I don't want to stock this anymore. I like the ones with the teeth better. I know this is cheaper, but I just like the other ones better for like proper handbags. However, these being little cases, I feel like this zip's gonna be fine, and that's pretty close. It's better than this one. This one's too yellow. Kind of sits in the middle, doesn't it? Look at that. Three Musketeers. But anyway, I'm already rambling. And I did so somebody said that I'm not loud enough. I understand, but it's the end of the day and we have to charge my phone or there will be no video. So where the charging port is where I plug the microphone. A Bluetooth microphone would be ideal. I assume they exist. I assume they're expensive. We're not doing that today. Also, if you watch the first video that I did with all of this, you would have seen that I put some glue on the tab and then I left it alone for like 3 days. It's now like proper stuck. So I do recommend the glue. When will that be? I missed that for Billy50. I mean, I make no promises. I'd like to make it tomorrow because I really want to post the lady her stuff. Life keeps getting in my way. I don't appreciate that. So I would like to get it done tomorrow. However, tomorrow is also, we're doing lots of gardening because we, my husband and I, have decided that we're going to dedicate certain garden beds to flowers for the bees. And then the rest of the garden beds are going to be for food. And we have a lot of weeding to do. Don't judge me. I only weed in the mornings because then it gets too hot. And I haven't done it lately because life. Well, like Sunday is a really good day for weeding because we get free like green waste when you go to the tip. You can take as much green waste as you want to the tip any day of the year. And it's free where I live, which is awesome. And I like to do it on a Sunday for no other reason than Sunday feels like the right day for it. Sometimes Saturday, but like last weekend I was prepping for the market. The weekend before I think something was happening. So I just didn't get there. Alright. So I'm going to grab one of these, sandwich it in. Clip. Clip. Oh, stop that. We'll get there. It's fine. Just takes a minute. Or 4. Okay, so that looks like it's got a little bubble. So what I like to do is grab it from both ends and just yoink. It'll be fine. I'm on a 3 stitch length today, and I am not changing my stitch length because whatever. It's still joiny enough. I'm pretty sure Sandra uses a size 3 stitch. Speaking of Sandra, I don't think she's here yet. Has anyone got thoughts on things I could make and do to put in her package? Because I'm pretty sure she's going to send me her package soon, and then it'll be my turn again, because we're package pals. So much fun. And my brain only comes up with so many ideas. Oh, what is that? Wait, where'd the chat go? Oh no, I clicked the button. Oh no. Hold that thought, I'm gonna have to refresh. I don't know how, but I disappeared the chat. We need the chat. It's the whole reason I have this open. Stop it. Sorry guys. Just got back from helping Dad with his computer. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. That wasn't funny, but it was a little bit funny. All right, let's try it this way. Show me. I can't believe I just deleted the chat. I'm an idiot. Anyway, there we go. Everything is fine. Not everything. Okay, so again with the scrap busting. So this looks like this purely because I'm scrap busting all these pieces and I didn't have enough for all the white. I wanted to do white, red stitching or blue stitching, and then a yellow end. I didn't have enough. So we've done half white and half blue, and I don't think it's going to matter. But I got rid of more scrap, and I haven't touched anything in the wall, which is the important part. Right? We are trying to be a scrap busting projects. For most of the month would be ideal. Some of my scraps are a bit big. Probably bigger than what you would consider scrap, and that's okay. Different people have different definitions. But I am going to try and mainly just do scrap for the next month. With the exception of my pattern release. That requires 1/2 meter. I'm going to stitch that edge first. Because this white's not normal. It's like super white from Spotlight, I think. So it's a bit stretchy. I never night sew, but hubby just went to the gym. And I had an early dinner because hubby wanted... I'm making myself burgers for dinner with chips just because I could. And hubby really wanted one, but he has to eat early so he can go to the gym now. He has to let it digest a bit before he goes. So I made dinner stupidly early, which means normally this is dinner time, and then afterwards I quit for the day and I don't want to do any more. So I'm wondering if this might break my cycle of no after dinner work. I have to admit, I feel more energized now that I ate dinner like an hour and a half ago. So I'm hoping that this might be my new thing because I'm so lazy after dinner. I do nothing. I sit in bed, I read a book, or I watch television, and that's all you get from me. Tori, what size needle and thread do you use for the vinyl and the walking foot? So I use the same thread for this machine and the green machine. It is an M40, which is Tex 70 in America. And the needle size on this, I want to say is maybe 20 or 21. And on the green machine, it's 19 because that's the biggest needle the green machine can do. So we do the biggest there. And this is not the biggest because we don't need that big of a hole. Like we don't need a size 22 on this for what I'm making. especially these. I can do heavier. This machine is capable of it. I just haven't currently had a project that requires it in life. Oh, I put that in the wrong one. That's got to go in that one. So I've cut a vertical slip pocket, which is just slightly over halfway. I am hoping to get to that one, but red was already in the machine, and I'm feeling lazy because it is still nighttime, people. There's limits to my powers of stuff and things. Did it again. So these pouches are the small hussy case. I made some in a live the other day. I made 2 in a live, and I got like 2 done in an hour 45. Which is pretty good. And I want to take 10 to the next market. So this is me making market stock. I love this machine. The walking foot machine is amazing, and I bought it secondhand off Marketplace. I regret nothing. I would also love to paint it better. I would love to have blood spatter or like a horror character. If I had to just pick one, I would pick Michael Myers, because Halloweens are my favorite. If I had to pick one, that's what I would pick. But eventually I am going to repaint this. I was just going to find time when I don't want to use it, and therein lies most of my problems, because I always want to use it. Because I can sew bags on the green machine. This one's just easier, that's all. So the reason I'm making so many of these pouches is I do markets twice a month. And I have, now that I get to take my gazebo all the time, I basically have space for another whole table. And that table was practically empty at the last market. So I would like to put 10 hussies, 10 Devon pouches, a crap ton of boxy bags, and then it'll have the blank, what are they called? Drink bottles, and the capsule machines, and that will be the whole table. But I would love to have a whole bunch of these, and then I could maybe make some stands with the laser, and so that they all, like, make a stand that's exactly 2 wide, and then make it go 3 high, and I could fit 6 on a pretty little stand, or something. I have some fat quarters to use up. So, fat quarters. My possum pouch, you can make that whole bag with a fat quarter. You can make these, and probably a face set, or a face set. Or you could definitely make like a face set and the front center pouch of a Devon. Because the way I'm going to do my Devons is going to be fabric centerpiece and then the rest of it vinyl. Because again, I'm trying to use up all my vinyl. But I've been cutting out these. I did some more just before. As I was going through my tub trying to find colors, if I come across a small scrap, I've turned it into these. And I have made like a lot of everything. I made, let me show you, just to be sidetracked for a second. I made like 50 cards. Actually, there's more than 50. I've used some, obviously, but there was more than 50. So I could make these 8 at a time with 2 pieces of paper on my long Cricut mat. So I have literally made 8 at a time, did a heap. And then I've got 1 tub of hearts, and I've got 1 tub of the rectangles. The pattern that I'm selling for $5 comes with, it'll look like that. So it's the blank of the card, because obviously you don't need my logo. And if I had to put Cord Keeper, it might have cut. So I didn't write that, but you can do that yourself. And you'll get this template and the rectangle template. So you can make the whole thing by putting it in the Cricut machine. It's got an SVG. And a PDF if you want to print it off and make them by hand. Also fine. So I did it. It's $5 on my website. Buy it, don't buy it, I don't care. But people asked, so I created. With a mild fever, I might add. There are no instructions for lots of reasons. One, because I had a fever and I didn't feel like writing it. And two, because if you watch my videos, you want it for that reason, and you've probably seen how I do it. And three, I do plan on making like a pre-recorded video how to do all 3 steps, just not yet. Well, maybe I should do I wonder if I've got any Pokemon fabric. The cards are very cool. I agree. So I'm thinking bronze heart zippers, right? Even though she feels like she should be silver, I have like 100 bronze heart zippers, and I'm trying to use them up, and I feel like this is a good space. Yeah, where are the zippers? Oh. Like if you have a look at my box of zippers, all heart zippers, all heart zippers. I feel like it's a sign. And until I get through them, we're just going to put them on everything. I like 2 zips on these. I think it's really cute when they come together. You don't have to do that, obviously. Do whatever you want. And you can use number 3 zippers. It won't, because the pattern's symmetrical, you can absolutely, on this, you can use a 3 zipper. What you might find is that this is like a smidge bit wide, and you know what you do? You just cut it down. It'll only be a little bit, like maybe 1/8 of an inch, and it might not even, and it might be so minute once you level it on both sides that you can just ignore it and continue on with your life. But you can make this with a size 3. Don't overthink it, right? I don't have any size 3. I sold all mine when I stopped selling all the hardware and stuff to everyone. And even though now that I'm inside, I technically have space, I don't really have anywhere to put it. And I feel like you guys would have much more fun if I filled all that with like more toys. You know? If you wiggle, it works perfectly. And then I always like to bring them in the middle. See, that's still cute, even if it is bronze. The hearts make it adorable. Hi, Anna. I like it. You can't convince me otherwise. That's where we're at. Oh, before I do that, we're going to find the center and put on our handle. I love a good handle. See? Don't we love using up our stash? We should all try and be anti-hoarders. Come join me. It's fun. It's fun because I'm going through stuff that I forgot I had. And there's a lot of stuff I forgot I had. I'm being a little bit judgy of myself there. You don't mean to forget, but you have like, you know, anything less than 1/2 meter to me is in the scrap box. So that also includes fat quarters. I classify them as scrap in my world, and how I craft. Generally speaking, when I go to a shop, I buy a meter, or at least 1/2 meter as a minimum. Anything under that in this world, how I've set up, how I stash everything is considered scrap. So a fat quarter would be found in my scrap box. It's fine. You don't have to do it like that. Maybe you only buy fat quarters, in which case none of your stash is a scrap box. Also fine. See, how cool is that going to look when I line that up with the zip? So the yellow is just going to be like whoosh, all the way around. I have 1/2 of Spotlight in containers under my veranda. That's funny. Stash busting is fun though. Like, we had so much joy purchasing the fabric. Just think about how much more joy you're going to have when now you get to use it and see your vision come to life. Or be like me, get sidetracked, change your vision, and it still turns out fabulous. This was not what I originally envisioned. See, how cool is that the strap goes, it's like a stripe all the way around. I like it. That was thought out a little bit. Not too much, but like a little bit. I bought the fat quarters because they were cute, which is totally fair. And a lot of handbags are not fat quarter friendly. It's part of the reason why I do Pulse and Pouch, so I've at least got one. Or they're not friendly in the sense that they use up too much of it to make two of them, but you couldn't get it in a half meter. So you can't just you can't use up that piece, because you make one thing and it'll take up like 60% of your fat quarter, and then you're left with the 40%, which is even smaller and usually in like a weird L shape. Let's be honest, it's usually in a weird L shape, and you don't want to cut off that side strip because it could be for something. I understand, I really do. Somebody in my last video asked me what seam allowance I'm using. Don't judge me, I do whatever I feel like. Things are pretty fluid for me in the way I sew. It's fine. You can do 1/2 inch, you can do, well, do what the pattern says. But like, it's a bit more fluid than that. Today I feel like doing 3/8 of an inch. Depending on how you put stuff together, most of the seam allowances will work. It's fine. Hey Tori, just came on and saw you were on. I am. It's 1:30 in the morning. I love that so many of you are like up at ridiculous hours and have still come to say hi. Please don't tell me that like an alert woke you up to be here. That would suck. That was not my intention. My intention is to try and night sew. And by being on video, it's holding me accountable so I don't sew 3 lines and quit. Because I'll tell you right now, it's absolutely what I would have done if I wasn't live. I know me. I know how my brain works. I would have sewn 3 lines and then gone, I can't be bothered. Let's go watch television. The goblin is fat quarter friendly. Well, there you go. See? The goblin's fat quarter friendly. Pixie's probably fat quarter friendly too, actually. Oh, that's good. You've got your things turned off. Can't have you getting woken up by me. Especially when I lull so many people to sleep. My incessant talking. I do understand. I promise. You can't tell me that's not cool. I know it's a little bit different. We're not judging. So cool though. I'm such a child. And the stitch line from a distance kind of looks like the zipper. That's not my intention either, but how cool. I love it when I'm cleverer than my own brain. And in this particular instance, this actually wouldn't have worked out if I had have done zipper tape. It wouldn't have looked the same. Like coloured zipper. I did do zipper tape. I meant the coloured stuff. That's coloured like the hardware. Because then I'd have to live in bronze. And I don't want to do that either. I love bronze. It's got its place. But like, so does everything else. I love it. It's only 4:30 here. So you're daylight sewing to me. Well, there you go. It's dark here. It's 6:40 p.m. And because I've got fluffy pants on, I've also got the air conditioner on. And we're not judging me for that either. And I still haven't had Red Bull since I said I quit the other day. It's like, what, day 6 or 7 or something? I'm not counting because I feel like that's not going to help. I feel like it'll be counterproductive if I count how many days I haven't done something. Oh, what? Hold the phone. I missed a bit. I have to bake whoopie pies later today. Ooh. You have a craft show. That's fun. I don't know what a whoopie pie is. Sounds yummy. I'd try one. For sure. See, nighttime sewing. Now I have to unpick things. But at least I'm in my fluffy pants. It's gonna be a long, long time. I know that's not the words, but every time I say fluffy pants, that's the song. Fluffy pants, it's gonna be a long, long time. Isn't that like Elton John? Pretty sure it is. I have a very eclectic taste in music. That's really annoying. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Glenda. Welcome, welcome. And Terry. Oh, we've got heaps of people. I don't do cold weather. It's too bad for my lungs. Oh my god, I have to unpick the sides. Why? At least this one, I don't care what it looks like. Because I'm just going to put it back on. Can't believe I did that. See, this is why I don't night sew, people. But I can't leave it there. It'll drive me insane. And it might fray. Or it might just go crap. And I don't want that. Oh, what am I doing? Stop it. Alright, I'm losing my marbles. Chop. Put it in the bin, not on the floor. Hi, Tori. I was listening on my phone. Oh, that's cool. I do that sometimes. Put my phone on with a movie while I'm cooking. I don't find cooking enjoyable. Like, it's necessary evil in my world. Much prefer not to. Alright, let's fix this. Okay, fixed. That was easy enough. Alright, move the lining. Here comes my child. He likes to stomp when he runs. He also likes to talk to himself. He thinks he's a YouTube star, like Mum. Pretends he's making videos all the time. That's adorable. Oh, itchy nose. I make pumpkin chocolate and chocolate caramel sea salt. Ooh, that sounds yummy. You and your fluffy pants would be like my weather. I bought chicken schnitzels today because they are my official lazy meals. I put them in the air fryer and put them in a sandwich with cheese and mayonnaise. No butter, no anything else. It's a very lazy meal for me and I love it. I only do them like once a fortnight or something. Just one day when I can't be bothered. I love sweets. My favourite, actually, if we're talking sweets, like handmade sweets, my personal favourite, caramel slice. We used to make it heaps when I was young. I don't make it so much anymore, but it's my favourite. And things that I don't make that I buy from shops all the time is vanilla slice. Those two are my favourite. Which is ironic because I don't like custard in a bowl. And I understand there's custard in vanilla slice, but it's cold and it's like hard. As opposed to like soupy. Personal preference. Love caramel slice though. Oh my god, look at all the tails. It looks like, I don't even know. Don't even know. In the bin. There we go. Apple turnovers aren't bad. Not my favorite. Like, I'm talking my, like, you put it in front of me. Doesn't matter how full I am, I'm absolutely going to eat it. caramel slice. And I will most likely feel sick afterwards. What are you going to do? Now, instead of a mesh pocket in this one, I'm doing a fabric pocket. So I put a lighter interfacing on this, just in case anyone wants to know. And then instead of doing binding, I can stitch them both together. If you wanted to, you could just do this piece and put binding, because it's waterproof canvas and it would be fine, but we're not doing that. And Long John Donuts. I don't know what that is. Cannoli. Cannoli is like that roll thing with all the cream in the middle. Not a huge fan. Or maybe I just haven't had a good one. There's that option too. I quite often make what we call chocolate truffles, which is condensed milk, crushed biscuits, coconut, cocoa, and then you roll them into balls and then roll them in coconut. Every time I make them in this house, they last about 8 hours in the fridge and they're gone. I made a triple batch the other day. So that's 3 cans of condensed milk, 3 packets of biscuits, all the stuff. 24 hours. That is ridiculous. That was so many. I even had to, like, I froze some and then hid them. Now, it's a long donut pastry with jam and cream. Okay. I like scones with jam and cream. I made lemonade scones the other day. 3 ingredients. Lemonade, flour, cream. That's it. See, I love baking. I just don't enjoy cooking. I don't know why, and I understand it probably makes no sense at all, but I think in my brain I have to cook and I choose to bake. It's probably that simple. I'm insane. See, and now the inside will be pretty too. Since we're talking of other things that are delicious, I do also appreciate a good Boston bun. I don't know why they called that, but they're like a fruit bun with a white icing. Oh my god, the cat's insane. I thought he was going to jump on my pedal. I've got my foot, so oh my god, he's trying to... Cat, what are you doing? He's trying to, like, climb the glass. He's an idiot. All right, there we go. I love baking. I could spend all day baking if I didn't then have to deal with all the dishes that I create. Love it. I hate cooking. Unless it's tacos, because tacos is easy. It's brown mince and then cut stuff. I'm happy with the prep cut part. I don't know. I know it makes no sense. But, like, hypothetically, if I started a bakery, I reckon I'd hate it pretty fast because then I have to bake and I don't want to have to do anything. All right, we need to put a tag. My local donut shop will be open in a little over an hour. Ooh. Where are my scissors? I found my favorite scissors. They were in my bedroom because I was laying in bed the other day cutting out the heart clip things. Cord keepers. I knew what I meant. And I found my favorite scissors. Oh, stop it. These are my favorite scissors, like little scissors. They're slightly curved. They're Class A. I got them really cheap at Spotlight and I haven't seen them in a while. These are starting to get blunt, but I've tortured them for many a year. Quite the fan. It's gonna be long. My brain just keeps singing Fluffy Pants. Fluffy Pants. It's gonna be a long, long time. I know that's not the words, but that's what this is my brain. Welcome to my brain at nighttime. while I'm trying to sew. I don't even get, like, lots of things. Fluffy pants. Are they leather scissors? No, they're embroidery scissors because they're, like, slightly curved. They're embroidery scissors. They're amazing. I'm obsessed. I might even take them to the professional scissor guy and see if he can do anything about them. Obsessed. Oh, Tori, I bought the Fiskars on Amazon for $28, free delivery. Love that. Came from the UK, but oh my god, they are so good. I told ya, didn't I? I told ya. It's almost like I know stuff. I also bought snacks. I bought lots of snacks. I also bought salt and vinegar chips because my diet is not happening. But I did quit Red Bull, baby steps. Snacks. I don't have any baked goods though. I'm not that cool. The scissors are amazing. Cannot praise them high enough. Just don't let your kids near them because he broke my clip. And if you get the sharpener, you can cut paper and anything, and then you just go whoosh, whoosh, a couple of times and they're sharp again. Amazing. Worth it. Because I torture my scissors. They're my second pair because I destroyed the spring in the first pair. Now I'm fairly confident I got bronze ones. Did I? Oh, you can also use some easy, what is it? E6000 fray. I love this stuff. If anybody ever needs like a fray stopping glue, this is your buddy. It's a gel, not a liquid. So when you pour it, it doesn't just go over everything. And yes, that was very visual. I don't care. Epic. See, I'm slightly delusional. It's fine. Mine dull quick, and that's why you get the sharpeners, and then you're good to go. Over and over and over. Boop. We're also going to add just a smidgy bit of E6000 other glue. All the glue. This is where my glue lives now. This was a glorious present. It's adorable. It's got like a cool dinosaur with he's like king dinosaur. I love it. It's cycled through several lifetimes because I'm forever changing up my crap. Currently, it's holding all my glue, but I kind of really like it there. So unless I go and buy ridiculously huge glue that doesn't fit in it, that's probably what it's going to forever be now. Snack commercial and the Fray glue plug. I love it. I get paid to tell you that. I actually don't get paid by anyone to tell you guys anything. Nobody pays me. I'm not that cool. I'm not a cool influencer. Such is life. Not that I care. But it is really good. And the reason I'm so obsessed with it, I can tell you why. There's a story behind it, if you want story time. I'm an idiot, and every time I used the liquid one, no matter how slowly I poured it, it would go over everything. Every freaking time. It's like a magic trick, I swear. I'm eyeballing the center, like I always do. Hi Tori, can't believe I've caught a live 9:55 AM. Yeah, because I'm trying this new thing called night sewing, but I'm trying it live first to force myself to do it. I need to change my brain chemistry in thinking that after dinner I do nothing, because it's, you know, I have dinner at 6, so that's nothing for 4 hours but television and TV and books. Not that there's anything wrong with books. Reading books is great. I will probably read some books after this, unless I'm exhausted. I will also have to stop at 8 o'clock no matter what because I've got to put my kid to bed. Goes the weasel. Yes, my brain did it the second time as well. What happened? Tammy. Okay, y'all have done it now. I have to go read the kitchen and see what I can find. You can pick a healthy option. We were talking about apple turnovers. Just eat an apple. Have you got one of those awesome cores? Oh my god, I used to love that. I had one. It was a peeler, and then it would cut it into like apple rounds. So cool. And a great way to eat a lot of fruit. And those slices would be thin enough that it could remind you of an apple turnover. And that way you can be healthy by thinking about unhealthy, and everyone's a winner. Don't put that there. Put it in the next tub. Because I've got to use it. See? Audiobook or TV. Okay, so it makes me feel a little bit better that I'm not the only one doing it, but still. So now I've glued it on. Life is easy. Pop it in. Flip it over. Put the end on. Bam. These are like really small rivets because I didn't want 9 mils too big, funnily enough. These are like just bigger than the hole so that it doesn't take away from my logo because they are small. They're meant to be small. It's about Sailor Moon, not me, but we need to put me on there so they remember where they got it from and come buy another one. Lol, it's fine, I'll deal with it. But no, Tori, I want chocolate. Oh, that's my fault. That's 100% on me. Sorry. Flashing my chocolate around. Ta-da! Leather pliers, for anyone wondering. This is the medium size. So when I went to the website, they had 3 sizes. They had a weird, really skinny one. They had this one, and then they had like a really long one. So I went with the middle size, because that's what I do. When in doubt, pick the middle one. It works for me every time. All right, so, and I'm going to do this every single time. We're going to do that, and then we're going to open it, and it's going to have that on the flap. Every time, people. I have Kit Kats in my drawer. Nice. See, I love a good fruit salad. I would actually pick fruit salad over chocolate, or have chocolate dipping sauce next to the fruit salad. Also an option. Jessie and I tried to make candied fruit here the other day, where you have like water and sugar and you boil it till it turns into like a thing, and then you dip fruit on a stick in it. The problem with that plan was I didn't know what I was doing, and it turns out if you have a fruit that's like moist, it doesn't work. So the only thing that actually stuck were the strawberries. I tried apple, I tried oranges, I tried mandarins. The only thing that worked was strawberries. So lesson learnt there, and the cleanup was a nightmare. So I'm just not in a hurry to do that again. I'm going to stop doing that now. I do snack quite regularly. You guys don't see it. Either directly before or directly after a video, I eat a carrot. It's yummy. It's easy. It's not messy. Like, I love eating orange. I love the taste of oranges, but they're so messy. You have to wash your hands. You can't snack on them now. It's not feasible. A carrot, good to go. It's my turn to instigate, apparently, Teresa. I mean, probably. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. That was a very, very, what's the word? Effective campaign. That, and in Australia, we had a Yellow Pages ad. And if you're an Aussie, you already know what I'm about to say. I've got a problem with my Gogo mobile. G-O. He's ringing around trying to get his car fixed. and there was a really good insurance ad, but they weren't so good that I remember which insurance ad. But there was like a kid, and he's like, my head went that way, and then my legs went that way. But I don't remember what it was selling. I got the problem with my Google mobile. G-O-G-G-O. Told ya. I feel like every Aussie on the planet knows that. And when I was a kid, there was one Kent Bruce, and he did like rugs and carpets, I'm pretty sure. And he had a galah on his shoulder, and he was sitting in a rocking chair in a straitjacket. He's like, Kent Bruce has gone mad. Kent Bruce has gone mad. Kent Bruce has gone completely mad. Because he was having a sale. I thought you were going to say not Happy Jen. That's the second most successful one. The other one's more successful because it was from when I was a kid and I still remember it. Oh my God, Cat, stop it! He just launched himself at the window. There's not even anything there. It's not like he's chasing a bug. He just went, ha! Idiot. That's what all the banging is, if you can hear it. Nut job. Because I've been getting up and waking up so early, I've been like closing the door when I go to the toilet in our ensuite. So the cat now meows at the door until I let him in, because how dare I not say good morning to him? It's a void cat. Yeah, probably. You all deserve an earworm. I'm constantly left with earworms. Do, 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 do. Doink. Alright, and then we're going to join those two to find the sideway points, because the middle of everything is just the easiest way to do things. And you'll never convince me otherwise. Having to measure 6 inches in or out, nah. Nah. Middle, out, snip. Middle, out, snip. Now, here's the real question. Do I want white on top or bottom, or white on top? I'm thinking white on top, just because then it's further from like whatever they're going to sit it in. I think. In which case, that is then going to sit there like that. That works, right? White on top, yeah. So that's going to go on there. And I clip it sometimes beforehand, just so I don't get it wrong. Hello, cat, go away. He's obsessed with something to get chips. Kitty, you want one? Obsidian, you want a chip? Of course you do. He loves something to get chips. I don't know if I'm supposed to feed it to him or not, but dude's a weird cat. I open a pack of chips and he comes running. Something wrong with that cat. He's a demon cat trying to enter the, what? The void. Yeah, that makes sense. Line up the middle. This just works better. I had an orange cat that loved popcorn and potato chips. That's awesome. Jessie wanted an orange cat for a while. Hey, kitty. I hear you. What's up? He talks to me a lot. Oh, look at you, Misty. You're an excellent promoter. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible self-promoter. I shouldn't laugh about it, but it is kind of funny. Come on. Do it. Do it! So this is going to be trickier because I had to re-sew part of this to make it a bit smaller. So now it's just going to be a tighter fit. Doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means it's annoying. Very different life problems. Yeah, grab the corner, shove. Oh, my brain just started quoting Ace Ventura. You know I'm delirious when that starts happening. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Beautiful. Let's do it. Oh, wait. I missed the whole corner. Oh, my God. That was right where I was going to start, too. Yes, I would love it if you could. There's 36 people that I can see here, and I have 7 likes. So it'd be super duper awesome if a bunch of you could go like it. I know a lot of you do it at the end, so I will check later. But it helps the universe know that I'm cool. I don't quite know how because I don't understand algorithms. As much as I like maths, that's not the maths I like. So that corner kind of failed. And my official solution is to just cut it off. Just like that. I regret nothing. That is because I had to change the gusset and it moved and I don't care enough to fix it. I could have fixed it. I choose not to. And I really hope my corners are right because I just cut something off it. Didn't really think that through, did I? I'm going to show you what we're up to. Oh, it's so cute. Oh my God. Love it. And the corners still look fine. Okay, so I just chopped off like a curve. And I know a lot of you get hung up on this. I would like to prove the corners look fine. Once I Tory squish that, it will look fine. And you won't even tell that I chopped part of the corner off. A lot of people get really hung up on that. It's fine. They're quite forgiving. Don't overthink it. I mean this with all the love in the world, and I'm not targeting you. Please don't feel like I'm targeting you. But I'm just saying, right? Like, it's fine. Just go around the corner, trim off the excess. No one's going to know. So what we're doing is we're putting the top at this part on both sides. So if you carry it, then it'll like match or whatever. This is also, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, but this is very much just a different size galumpus. Even though I made this one first. Galumpus is my kids' lunchbox pattern that I did. Again, ages ago. I also haven't figured out what color binding. I don't know what I'm doing for binding yet. That's why I'm avoiding it on the other side. We'll get there. But the galumpus is built the same. It's just got some extra pockets because it's bigger and it can have extra pockets. You could put pockets on this. I don't think it's necessary, but if you wanted them, you totally could get away with that. Just, you know, if anyone's wondering. You could add a zipper pocket on the inside, like here above this bit. So you have a zipper pocket kind of right there. And you could make it almost the full width of the bag. If you're going to add a zipper pocket, you can then also skip binding and turn it through instead. I'm going to sell these for $30. I'm terrible at pricing. I'm sure I could get more, but again, I'm only using scrap. And to buy fabric for this, because I'll always have like a vinyl that's close enough. To buy fabric for this, you'd need to buy 20 centimeters, which is the minimum cut at Spotlight, which will be like $3 or $4. I use interfacing that's less than $1 a meter. We use bag foam, but we use so little it's negligible. A little bit of zipper, 1/2 meter-ish, just under of zipper. And I like 2 zipper pulls because I feel like it's fancier to have them both meeting in the middle than having it at one side. Personal preference, but it feels more elevated and it cost me like $1 in a zip. These kinds of things I would not be putting super fancy zips on unless it was a gift for someone. Like, I'm not going to start putting Star Wars zips on all the ones I make like this. The fancy zips for me are reserved for a full-size handbag where it's okay to have that kind of a cost. And again, personal preference. Please don't come for me. I also don't buy a lot of custom zips. I went through like a small phase where I was a bit obsessed. But I could honestly take them or leave them. But in my defense, I have a laser that can put pictures on plain ones. So I feel like maybe I'm cheating a bit. But like for these, I haven't done anything. These are just heart zips in bronze because I have crap loads. And eventually, when I run out of heart zips, I'll just pretend and do normal whatever colored ones. I personally love my chunky zips, which is just like the basic rectangle with a hole in the end, so you can clip things to it if you want to. But again, personal. Oh, I got the hiccups. Do you know every time I eat potato, it gives me the hiccups? Every time. I mean, I'm still gonna do it because the hiccups won't kill me. Hey, cat. He wags his tail like a dog. I think he learnt it from the dog. Now, in my defense, I am usually faster at sewing these. But slow sewing is better than no sewing because I'm still being more productive than sitting watching television of something that I've seen already. It's not like I'm watching new things lately. Nothing has piqued my interest. And I can't watch horror movies while my child's awake because he always pops in to tell me how much he loves me, which is adorable and not very good for horror movie watching. So, in the tub. If you open your zip, it's easier to maneuver, just so we're all aware. Back to the start, backstitch. Pull, quiet. I'm literally leaving my foot on the pedal so that he doesn't run on it like he did last time. Thanks, Bobby. I think I'm hilarious. Okay. Have you come for pats, have you? No, you've come for your chip. That's fair. I actually I didn't personally come up with the name. When I first started, a lot of you probably know this story, but when I first started sewing, I was making retro 50s aprons, like a big circle skirty apron. And I wanted like a cool, fun name. So I put a competition on like a Facebook group saying, if I pick the name, you will get a free apron. And everyone was like, Victoria's Sewing, Tori Sewing Designs. I'm like, that's so not me. I wanted something like weird because, hello. And then somebody said once apron a time, and I was like, oh my god, it's so clever, but it was taken, which is lucky because I no longer sew aprons. That would have been a very constricting name looking back. And someone said seems legit, and I googled it and it was available, so it's mine. But there's also a lady in America who owns the name Seems Legit in America. And so when I first started, everybody kept trying to add themselves to her group instead of mine. And I got an angry worded email about how I have to change my name. And then I pointed out that actually, no, I don't. How do we feel about orange? Is that too many colors? Because I have orange. I have lots of orange and lots of light blue, which I feel is probably not very Sailor Moon-esque. I need to do an order. But again, I'm trying to be the anti-hoarder of the universe, but I feel like it's time. I want to get like a really big roll of red. So my options are blue, black, grey, navy, or orange, it would seem. Because even though that exists, that's not binding, that's strapping. And that's too thick, I think. And it's the wrong colour red, so it looks off. If we're going to pick a different colour, it has to be different enough. Everyone says orange? Okie dokie then. Ugh. It's good to have some base colors. I should probably get like big 100-meter rolls of red, blue, and purple, and then I'd be set. Because with green, I usually, oh, and maybe a brown. I don't know. Okay, but because we're doing orange, now I have to change my thread color. We can't have red stitching on the orange. I don't want it to stand out. I like my binding threads to blend in. There's a few exceptions to that. Sometimes I like to do rainbow. Today is not that day. Oh my god. My brain just like acknowledged my fluffy pants, and so my brain is saying the song again. So as usual, all of these are going to be like a one-off type thing. That fabric I have had for so long, and it was a little piece that I refused to get rid of, and now I'm so happy I refused to get rid of it because it's made a $30 pouch with some scraps and some waterproof canvas. The waterproof canvases are not scrap, but I like the idea of having waterproof canvas linings in all of them. Whereas the Devon pouches, I don't think I'm going to necessarily do that. I haven't officially decided yet, and since I'm not up to cutting them, it's not like today's problem. But I'm trying to decide, do I want to do like, use up all the random generic-y prints that I've got inside the Devon pouches and have cotton linings, or do I want to stick with this plan of always having a waterproof canvas lining? That's going to die. Ugh. It's gonna be a long, long time. There's $6 pants. Around here you can buy them at like what used to be known as $2 shops. They're not $2 in there anymore, but they've got like all the random stuff. Anyway, so this is big enough. I don't even need to check. It will go around both of them, so I won't need that other piece. So I buy my binding from Vitamin Threads, because I know you're all about to ask. And I buy, these ones are 10-meter rolls that I buy. And then the colors I use a lot of, so like black and stuff, I buy 50 or 100-meter rolls, because I've nearly used a 100-meter roll in the last 2 years. But that's because I do a lot of binding. And now I'm about to start doing a lot more because I'm going to be creating these. So Do with that information what you will. Buy what you like. You could line everything with black. You could just buy black and do black binding across the board. Meh. I also think that I'm going to do the swapsies again every year. I tell myself I'm not doing swapsies, and then every year I go through swapsies because I find them fun. So we're probably going to do one again this year. And we might just make it like, instead of being strictly my patterns, maybe we could just make it anything that you can make from a fat quarter. Because then you can use anybody's pattern. But there'll be rules. So you have to like write what the patterns were, unless you made one up. Which is also fine. I promise I won't do that to anybody, because we all know you're going to want the pattern. So I will probably choose one of my own. But we might have a thing, a Christmas swapsy, where your main fabric for everything you make in the swapsy has to come from a fat quarter. Because you can interpret that in so many fun ways. You can make a possum pouch. You could make a whole bunch of little pouches. You could do like a giant box of little pouches like this. Because the main panel of the fabric would be like wherever I'm putting Sailor Moon is what I'm equating the fat quarter part to. How fun would that be? Just seeing what people's favorite patterns are. Vardman. Vardhman. They are located in Euroa, Victoria. I've been there. It's pretty fun. Went and bought heaps of stuff. Chop! Goes the weasel. Sorry. My brain is tired. So Vardman threads. I can probably grab a link for you if you want. I love it when it works. Yes, I'm evil laughing at myself. Oh, there's glitter on it. Can you guys see that? No, you can't see it, but there's glitter on it. Let's rub it on my leg, not on my chest. Seems weird. Hi, Tracy. Welcome, welcome. You guys want a link to Vardman threads? I'll grab it. So all my places that I use the most, I'll even link what type of binding, because they've got options. The polyester or polypropylene? I never remember which. It's this one. Alright, so here is the link to the binding that I use. Bam! There you go. That is where you can get your binding. Oh! I'm in tropical Queensland. When I do these bindings, I start at the edge and like veer my way on, because we're going to overlap it anyway. It's fine. Good evening, Trisha. It's nighttime here. I'm trying a nighttime sew. They are at Tungama now. Oh, there you go. They moved. Well, still cool. I still like their stuff. This is also the same place I get my thread. So usually when I purchase from here, I will purchase a thread and some binding, and then you just get one lot of postage. Everyone's a winner. Because they sell M40. I believe they sell the M60, which is Tex 45 as well. If anyone's interested. I don't use it because I don't need to. My machines are insane, for lack of a better word. I regret nothing. I love my machines. Bigger premises. See, that's cool. Good for them. They were lovely people when I went there. Lovely. They put up with all my crazy questions and let me wander around to look at all the things. I love that. I'm a curious person by nature. When I go to sewing trade, I just wave at everybody and walk straight out the back. And either someone will follow me or they're already there because we just know. And then I go check out what colours they've got and pick from that. Tori, which green binding? I usually buy the hold on. I'll tell ya. Not emerald green, I don't think. I buy lime. It's called lime. But I mean, you could pick other colours. You don't, you know, depends on what you're making. But that's what I personally buy. Yeah, it's 7:30 here too. I'm back. You guys, daylight savings is finished, so we're all back to like normal time. Itchy leg. So I buy lime green when I'm buying it. Personal preference. I don't have a lot of use for the dark green. I mean, maybe I could buy 10 meters someday, but I don't really need to. And my whole I'm trying to have less means I don't need to buy stuff just because it's there. I'm going to buy it if it's useful to my life. So like red would be useful. Purple would be useful. Royal blue would be useful. I have a lot of the light blue and I bought it because it perfectly matches the waterproof canvas I get in. Not that I've done that in a while. But depending on what colors you use, I do recommend grey as a generic goes with everything, or most things. Like I always put grey with greens, teals, you know, charcoals, all that. Sorry guys, I'm eating with one hand and trying to type with the other. I love it. I love that we're blaming someone that's not me for a change. Not that I mind taking the blame. If your partner's like, why did you buy it? You can blame me. I give you full permission. I probably did encourage you to do so. And even if I don't, I'll pretend like I did. It's fine. So that took way longer than normal. I regret nothing because I've still got something done after dinner and it's progress. And I want to show you guys what this looks like because it's pretty cool. So again, scrap busting. Is anybody else on the scrap busting mission because I told you to? I really hope so. Not because I would just want you to follow me blindly with all my instructions, but because scrap busting is wonderful. It's going to create space for you to then go and splurge on like a pre-order or something. That's my plan. Tori, don't get too excited. I think you started the whole thing. I probably did. Gotta have a snack. Although to be fair, I've only eaten like 4 chips in an hour. It's pretty good for me. Usually I would have devoured the whole packet. But I'm trying to snack less. I keep pretending like I'm going to go to a gym soon. I mean, I might get there. Not today, though. Oh. We're going to zip it up. Alright, so I just want to point out, this side has been squished and this side has not. And can you see a difference? Because I can see a lot more gusset than I should. And then we also need to go to the corner and just create a bit of a crease. Right after I finish rolling this, actually. Hold that thought. And yes, I do a scrunched up face. It's like a whole thing. Hi, Jane. Welcome, welcome. Everyone's welcome here. As long as you're polite. That's pretty much my only rule. Be polite. That's it. And don't talk about politics. I've got 2 rules. I don't care enough about politics. We're never going to have that as my channel. I can promise. Absolutely, with 100% certainty. Got to crease the corners. And then, oh, it's so cute. Look at it. Oh my God. Ooh. And to display them, you put the 2 zips in the middle in line with your tag or whatever you use, right? Bam. And this has got glue on it, so in like 48 hours, it'll be schmicko. Because if I bent this now, you'd be able to see under the tag, and we actually don't want that because it's more likely to come off. We don't want that to happen because then they won't know where they got it from. So we add just a little bit of glue. E6000 is my favorite, but any kind of like flexible shoe glue would probably work as well. Love it. I'm really happy with how that come out. Not bad for some scrap. And it's literally different colors because I was using scrap. This was not a design choice. This was a lack of other color options that matched. Regret nothing. Scrap busting. So anyway, that's 3 officially made. I've only got 7 to go. All right, what color are we doing next? Oh, we're gonna do the evil green one because this one is vertical. And I feel like a lot of you are worried about how I'm going to attach a vertical one. So we're going to do this one. This is the Kings of Horror box that Sandra designed. Is that not amazing? It's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, but they're horror characters. So you've got Scream, Jason, Michael, and Freddy. And it's epic. It's like me in a panel. And I probably won't want to sell this, but I have to because I'm on a mission. But I've got another panel. Don't stress, I have another one. So we're gonna go with lime green because I've got like a whole vibe of evil villain lime green happening. I have that box. See? How good is a Tory squish? I try not to lead you guys wrong. I try not to give any information that I don't believe in. And I don't do myself. You don't necessarily see me do it on camera all the time, but I can promise you that off camera I am squishing every bag because it sits nicer, it feels fancier when it sits the way it's supposed to, it looks more expensive. So one suggestion I would make, refinement threads. If you can't do it on the website, give them a call, they'll help. But you want to try and match your thread color to your binding color. So if you're going to buy a lime green binding, I highly recommend you buy, it doesn't tell me what color it is, but like a matching thread. Because I personally, sometimes even I have to re-sew some binding because I miss. And so you want it invisible. So if you get the same color thread, it all kind of blends together. Schmicko. Tory squish is mandatory. See? I'm sure somebody else named it something else, but I have commandeered it and I apparently name things after myself. The Tory squish, the Tory pocket. Seriously though, do you ever go wrong with a Tory pocket? The answer is no. No, you don't. I don't even put other types of pockets in my bags now because what's the point? I feel like it would confuse half of you. It'd be like, where's the Tory pocket? We just do a Tory pocket. Or a mini Tory pocket, which is literally half the size. And then you turn it the other way. Done. All right. Anyway. So for the back of this, I didn't use 2 panels because I felt that was wasteful and I've only got 2. And I probably want one for myself. So I have just got this black basket weave. This was also in my scrap box. So again, didn't use anything extra because I only needed that piece. Funnily enough, the hardest pieces to scrap are these because they're so long. These are the ones I'm having the most trouble cutting. Everything else, I've got enough scraps forever, basically. It's not ideal, but it's fine. So this is also from Sandra. Sandra sent me this in one of our package pals. I couldn't tell you what it is. I reckon you could probably get it from like Mizzen or maybe Brimax, but it is a fabulous green. Quite the fan. But I don't know what it's called before you all ask me. I was on that live when we were naming it. It just fits. I feel a little bit up myself, constantly naming crap after myself, but, you know, what are you going to do? So, we need zipper, and in full, we're just going to go with the zipper green, because, you know, I've got heaps of it. Hey, cat. What are you doing? Oh, there you are. Hey. Look how big he got. Do you guys remember when he was this big? He is not that big anymore. Are you kidding? You're all huge. You're all huge. You going? You're just going to sit on my lap. Oh, no. He's come to attack the zipper. Ah! The zipper's on me. This is not going to end well. No! My zip. My zip. My zip. There you go. I've got my foot on the pedal. We learnt from our last time. Bardman does have a matching thread called Lime. See? This is the one I'm using today. He's still not 1 yet, but he did get neutered the other day, so he's at least 6 months old. I'm like, I don't need a feral kitty. Hells to the no. So this is also going to have bronze zippers, but I don't know if I'm going to do hearts for it. I don't feel like this is like one of the few times hearts don't really work. I mean, nah. See, nah. But I might have skulls or something I can use. No, because I don't want to start that as a precedent on these. Because I have noticed, and it's not anyone's fault, but like custom zippers are quite pricey for individual zippers. Like, I understand why. But on the flip side, I don't want to pay to put crazy zips on a little pouch. Whatever. But I'm very proud of myself. I am still here. We are on bag number 2. I thought I would have given up by now. I always stick it on and then cut it. I don't ever do a rough cut and then cut it down. That to me screams, you're wasting zipper. I've seen some videos where they don't talk, you know, and they just have like music and they do it and then they cut it down. And I'm like, but you're wasting zipper, which is probably not a big deal of this much until you do this 20 times. And then that's like 20 inches. That's a lot of wastage. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And now I'm ranting about people wasting their own stuff. I mean, you do whatever you want, I suppose. So this is the hexagon from Brimax. This is also a waterproof canvas. I got this recently. Do you know sometimes I just throw money at companies and tell them to send me random things because I never know what I want. I don't necessarily always like to make decisions. And I only ever do it to people who know who I am. So, like, Brimax understands that green is my jam. Hiya! Why do I always do that? Because sometimes the clips don't sit nicely. So if you squish it like this, everything straightens up. I don't know why. It's a physics thing. Sometimes your vinyl stretches, because I'm using templates, so these theoretically should all be the same, and yeah. Sometimes they look like they don't fit. I have also interfaced, all of these have been interfaced with my hefty interfacing. I'm saying that word a lot, but it's relevant, I promise. Because I didn't want to have to put foam. I feel like it's too puffy and it's annoying to deal with. But I didn't just want the vinyl because then the bag wouldn't sit up as nicely as it is. Like, that's a nice sitting bag, right? For something so small, it's sitting really nicely. So I don't want to put foam if I can help it. But just vinyl, I feel like would be too floppy. Especially this green, it is quite pliable, which in any other circumstance would be great. In this particular one, we want the opposite to happen. So I add interfacing to the strips, not the back, weirdly enough, but just the strips, because I feel like it's helping keep the shape and not being flat. How is Jesse? I have missed seeing him for a while. I mean, he might show up soon. He's in his underwear, so I kind of secretly hope not, but it has been known to happen. I find myself yelling at videos, trim the tails, squish it, or whatever else might fit the situation. My videos or like other people's? Because that's pretty funny. Jesse's fine though. He's kicking goals, loving life. Ah, see? I knew something was up. It pinched. I'm not accepting that at all. No deal. It's annoying. So what am I doing? There's like the tiniest little ripple and I'm just not okay with it. I am definitely unpicking more at nighttime. I don't love that for me. But again, I've still got one more pouch than I would have had. So it's not all bad, I suppose. Sometimes I should just make peace with the fact that I don't need clips. Other people's videos. Okay, that's pretty funny. I've infiltrated the universe. That was a little bit creepy of me. I regret nothing. A good Tory squish fixes a lot of problems. You think your bag's wonky and crooked, and then you Tory squish it, and you're like, oh, it's fine. It's just the seam was dipping in. Fixes a lot of dramas. Makes you feel much more confident in your sewing. And a lot of bags have somewhat flexible seam allowances. Not all, but some. 100%. I was going to save this green waterproof canvas for something for myself. But I feel like this matches perfectly and I wasn't missing the opportunity to make it look fabulous. I also feel like this particular round, I've done a lot of license prints, which I don't necessarily think I'm very happy about, to be honest. Like I've done Lord of the Rings, Sailor Moon. This is technically kind of a license because it's all the horror character dudes. My Little Pony, Harry Potter. So I've literally done like half of them as license prints. Not intentionally, but just because I'm using up I'm starting with the smallest pieces in my stash so I can make them disappear. Because the whole point is not to use up half a piece of scrap, it's to use up the whole scrap. He's grown up right before our eyes. I remember he was just a little guy. I mean, I can call him in. He'd love to say hi. He loves to be on the camera. My honey called it the Misty Mash. I told him I was doing the Tory squish. I love that. That's great. You can call it after yourself. I'm not offended. Not a lot offends me, actually. Look at it. So much green. Yes. I need to stop evil laughing. I really do. Now that you've said the Misty Mash, my brain's singing the Monster Mash. And you're doing like, you know you guys probably don't know because half of you are from America, but in Australia we have something called the Wiggles. And they do mashed banana, but I'm imagining monsters doing the mashed banana to the Monster Mash song. While I'm talking, it's the Misty Mash. The tighter I get, the more delusional I become. I feel like we achieved that when I did the 12 hours straight of sewing. All right. So I also cut a strip of this to do as binding because it's all just going to be excessively green. This has a right and a wrong way. There's a shiny side and a not shiny side, and you can actually use either. It wouldn't matter. I've picked shiny, but if I had thought about it better, I probably would have done not shiny. Stop it, Brave. I thought the Wiggle song was mashed potato. I mean, it is. There's mashed potato. There's something about banana. No, it's hot potato. Hot potato. Mashed banana. Cold spaghetti. The rest I don't know, but those three are definitely hot potato, mashed banana, cold spaghetti. I don't know why the spaghetti has to be cold. But there you go. My child's also nearly the age. I'm about to teach him the nut bush because I feel like it's a rite of passage in Australia. Everybody should know how to do the nut bush. It's also great exercise if you jump for each step. High energy. You do the nut bush for the whole song where you like jump to do each step. Great workout. Ooh, maybe I could just do that every day. I'm just an old Mimi, so they are like my grands. Yeah, that's fair. Oops, been a while since my kids watched it. That's okay. It's been a while since I've watched it, but it's definitely mashed banana. Where are my zippers? Okay, let's have a look, shall we? I mean, I do have some funky zips here. I've got a skull. I don't have two the same, and I really like to have two the same. See, I've got a Halloween zip, but again, I've only got one. So we're not doing that. We are going to do plain zips. What I used to call smooth criminal, if anybody wants to know. Wiggles are huge in America, but the nutbush dance is an Aussie thing. Yeah. Yeah, it is. We can do that as a warm-up each morning. Oi, don't joke about it, because I'll make you. I'll do it. I'll put headphones in and jump around like a crazy person doing nutbush. Do not underestimate my level of crazy. Ever. Alright. Split. Push. Wiggle. Other side. Yeah, I like matching zips. Bam. I really want to do a swapsy now where we're only allowed to use a fat quarter for the main panels of fabric. My brain's like exploding with ideas because I'm insane. Shiny side, touching the shiny side. And then before we go any further, I need to make the strap, which is a new addition that I'm pretty sure I did not put in the pattern, but we've just started adding a strap, people. Hey, cat. He likes to sleep in the boxes I have around because he needs to be near me at all times. Don't you, cat? He's currently climbing in. You can't see. There he is. There you go. You can see him. Where the zipper box was. He's like, oh, there's a gap. Let me sit there. Nutbush. The problem is that I don't want to wake up my husband because I'm absolutely going to start singing the Nutbush when I'm doing it. Jessie would love to have more aunties and grandparents and stuff. He'd love it. Void kitty. What? So I'm stitching really close to the join, and that's all I'm going to do because it's enough. Can you all see him? He's literally only likes to sleep on things that are black. I trip on him and stand on him a lot. He hasn't got a Mimi. He's got a Nana and a Nanny and a Gigi. Hasn't got a Mimi. Look at that. See? How fun. They call it Actually, I'm going to tack that on. We should always base things, people. It's just going to make your life easier. I promise. Now he does. Love it. I'll be his USA auntie. I'm sure he will love that. I'm going to tell him later and I'll let you know what he says. So, honey, I've adopted you a Mimi. It's like a grandma, but that's what they call them in the US. And you've also got another auntie. He'll love it. He'll think it's great. Grand Angels. Nice. Even the inside looks cool. Is this too much green? I mean, maybe. But the top is so dark with so much green. The only other option would have been the background, like midnighty purpley color, and I don't have one of them. But if you have access to like some seriously epic colors, that's what I would do. Oh my gosh. That was close. We almost forgot to top stitch the other side. See, this is why I don't sew at night. Forever sleepy. And I don't want to miss bits because I can't concentrate because I am getting sleepy. I'm a nana. Never too much green. I mean, that is true. I do think it's looking fabulous. We have reclaimed the word fabulous. I'm a nana. That's fair. But then this is from the green-haired older woman that had chrome green nails. See, but that's fantastic. Live your best life, people. I decided today, now that I'm feeling better, because I was a little bit unwell the other day, now that I'm feeling better, I decided that I no longer wish to be a blonde. So I went to the shops and I got a quote to turn me not all over brown, but just browner. I had some photos. The answer was $300. So I left. I understand why it's so much, but like, no. So then I went to like a shop that sells the stuff where you do it yourself, that's not a box dye. And I asked them, and they were like, it's probably not going to work out. You're going to turn green, but not like a good green. Like a crap green. And I was like, I don't want to do that either. And then I went to another shop. This took me 2 hours. And I spoke to a lady that's a hairdresser. And she's like, have you heard about color shampoo? And I was like, no, tell me more. And so she did. And so I bought browning shampoo. So basically now, every time I wash my hair, it's going to make it more and more brown. And then once I reach the level of brown that I'm happy with, I just stop washing my hair with that shampoo. Like, how cool is that? So at the moment, you can't really see it, but at the moment, my hair is almost like rose gold. Almost. I dried a little bit of it with a hairdryer and then I gave up because I already did that once today. But I am no longer blonde. Look. Oh, it looks like rose goldy, coppery, but I'm not mad. I only want it like a little bit darker and then we'll be sweet. So anyway, it's fancy shampoo. Problem solved. I am technically no longer a platinum blonde. I need to order zipper pulls. My zipper tape came with none. Well, that's frustrating. I'm a nanny to 8 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. Do you make a lot of tutus and fancy dresses? I make a lot of weird stuff for Jesse. Actually, Luke gets roped into building him a lot of stuff he sees, which I love. They go out into the shed and build it together. It's adorable. Alright, so because it's going to be vertical, I have made a vertical slip pocket, right? Because the other one would have been like long ways and that would be no good for holding things. I feel like it would fall out a lot easier. So I made a vertical one. All I did was I took this panel piece and I went up about ½ an inch above halfway and then cut. So you could make it taller. I wouldn't necessarily make it shorter, but you could definitely make it like taller all the way up to here if you wanted like a taller one. I don't know. I'm not the boss of you. Despite what we sometimes think. I am in fact not the boss of anyone. Oh, no. Ah! Now I've done it. The cat's come to attack it. Damn it. Hey, kitty. Oh, no, don't want pats, just want myself. Fair enough. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to finger press all of this halfway. I don't know if I'm going to finish this on a live because I do technically need to get Jessie to go to bed, like right now. Jessie Bear! Bedtime! Brush your teeth! Sparkle guts! That's our magic word. I have got my foot on the presser. I feel ridiculous, but I absolutely am pushing down the back of the presser. He just seems to be in a bit of a wandering mood. Good old cat. Sometimes he just jumps on my lap. Sometimes he just wanders around. But I have taught him not to jump on my desk, so that's nice. It's alright, he'll come here. He puts himself to bed. He can brush his own teeth, and then he just comes for kisses, and then crawls into bed. It's very, very adorable. He likes to be a big kid, and I'm trying to encourage that independence. Sometimes he forgets to kiss me goodnight and just pops into bed without it even being bedtime. Alright. It's just enough. See how it's just made like a little bit of a dent? It's enough. Can I tell him goodnight? Hey, Jesse, come here. They want to say goodnight. He's in his jammies. So cute. Look how big he is now. Say goodnight.
Good night. Good night.
And then if you wait a few seconds, they'll all say goodnight to you. Look at the smiles. He loves it.
What are you making?
I'm making a horror bag. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. See, look. Good night. Hi, Jesse. So good to see you. Have a great sleep. Good night. Good night. Big hugs. Good night, Jesse. Look at all that. That's all for you. Mwah.
Thanks, everybody.
Did you brush your teeth?
I'll go do that.
Perfect. Loves it. See the smiles? He's so cute. So cute. You can double fold this stuff if you want to. You just iron it because otherwise it won't stay. Double folding's a lot. Okay. Oh, itchy nose. So we're going to grab a lining piece like we normally do. Thanks, Tori, for doing that. That's all right. It's probably a little bit small. I probably should have gone up to about 2/3, but it'll be fine. It's going to do its job. Tell him Mimi sends big hugs. I will do that. Okay, so now we have a new problem. I don't want to wreck the panel with my logo because the panel really does take up the whole space. The only place that might be acceptable would be here, but I feel like it's too close to the seam allowance. Or maybe here? Maybe we'll do it off center in here. Because I don't want to cover the horse's face. That's like the cool bit. So it's going to have to be off center, which is not the end of the world. I suppose. And like in a perfect world, they'd all be the same and you put them in the middle. But again, I'm not wrecking the panel for my logo. You can't make me. Put it on the back. Yeah, I could do that. The back's nice and boring. If you had a fabric on, you put it inside the bag. I mean, I could put it in the waterproof canvas, I suppose. I mean, I gotta find the center of this anyway. That's okay. You can both say it. Maybe I'll... It's fine. Alright. This feels crooked. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so... on the front panel, we're going to put the slip pocket, like I always do. No, hold on. Top. Because then when you lift it, so this one's going to be opposite. Alright, hold on. Hear me out as to why. If I was to put that on the way we've been doing it, right? We're going to carry it like that, and everything's just probably going to fall out because it's like long and skinny. I don't know why, but I feel like the other one's not going to fall out as much as this one. So because of that, I am, in fact, going to put this on the back panel where it doesn't move, I think. I mean, you can do whatever you want. we're just going to install our tag. I'm just old and can't type like I used to. And 2 hands for beginners. Wow, I'm not even a beginner, but it hurts if you just do it with 1 hand. It doesn't hurt as much with 2. I don't know why, but I feel like the tall one, having that pocket upside down, is worse than in the other one. Couldn't really tell you why. Sprucing up the back. Perfect. Actually, I'm going to put that inside there so I don't lose them. Perfect size, guys. I don't know why in my head the upside down one on the little one is any different, but it just is, okay? It just is. Because I feel like most of the time people are going to chuck it like that. I don't know. It just feels different. I could be doing all of them wrong. Who knows? Oh, so pretty. Look at me putting everything away properly. We're still putting glue. Just a little bit though. I'm going to show you how much I'm putting. Just enough to kind of make it a bit wet, right? It's not like raised up. It's not like a big glob, because when you press it down, it'll ooze out the side and nobody wants that, okay? So I'm not putting a crap ton. Hello, cat. I'm just putting enough so it's not going to shift. So once all the glue sets, this won't kind of bend at all. I don't know. It makes sense to me, and it worked on the other ones. I'm finished with the glue for tonight, so we're going to put that in there. I can make 2 of the same pattern using different fabrics, and they feel like 2 different sizes. Yeah, it's a trick of the eye. This is going to look like a completely different size because it's vertical instead of horizontal. What? All right. Sandwich them all together. And again, if you hate binding, the pattern comes with a non-binding version. You either have to leave a seam open and turn it through the side and then hand stitch it shut or whatever. Or you add a zipper pocket. Hey, kitty. If you add a zipper pocket, you get, you turn it through the zipper pocket. So many options. Hi, Helen. Welcome, welcome. Sometimes I make bags and the print makes it look like the whole bag's crooked, but it's not. It's just a trick of the eye. All right, let's stitch all of these together. In the seam allowance, I'm going to do 1/8 of an inch because I always do, but you do whatever makes you comfortable. Because as always, I'm not actually the boss of you. So much so I got a number plate to tell you that. I think pouches are going to be my jam. I really enjoy pouches. They're small, they're quick, they're fun, they're great scrap busters. But they're also affordable. So like a lot of people are stressing out about money. I feel like this is a fun pouch that isn't so basic it looks boring, but it's also not so hard it's going to take you forever. I feel like it's like right in the mid-range of that, and I feel like adding a vinyl gusset elevates the bag without doing anything. Right? Like I'm taking a long time to sew today. I'm getting cold. My feet are cold. I really want socks, but if I turn off the air conditioning, it'll be too hot because I'm insane. Don't worry about it. Now, you can also just iron this on, and then you don't need clips, but I would still baste it, just so you're all aware. If I was making, no, well, probably not. Even if I wasn't live, I still probably wouldn't sew them, iron them, but you can. Like when you're prepping, so long as you have a clear plan, like with this one, I could absolutely iron the base one on. Wouldn't matter. Be good to go. Pouches are fun. The vinyl gusset elevates it to feel fancier than it is, all right? Same as the Devon pouch. So when I make the Devon pouch, the only bit of fabric is like that front zipper panel. And the whole rest of it, I do in vinyl. I feel like it elevates it from just like a pouch to like, ooh, a pouch. And I hope that that made sense and I didn't sound insane. But adding the vinyl strategically makes it feel more fancy. There's no other way to say it. It makes it feel more fancy, especially like I did that corduroy one. If you guys were here for the live when I started sewing these this week, at the start of the week, it's got emerald dark foresty green corduroy, and then I did a vinyl gusset, and it just feels luxurious, but I did exactly the same that I'm doing now. This one's going to probably be the only vinyl exterior one. I was trying to avoid this purely because I'm trying to use up scraps, and I don't have a lot of like main character energy vinyls in my scrap box. I have a whole bunch, like don't get me wrong, I do have a lot of like main panel vinyl, but they are for handbags. The scraps are for these, and then even the vinyl scraps are getting the gusset pieces. Because it's so long, that's where you're going to have most of your trouble, but they're also skinny, so like, I don't know, you'll be fine. You will figure it out. It does. It elevates it. It makes it go from just a pouch to like, oh, people want to touch it. Faux leather. I don't know. I get leftover batting from my local Long Armour, so I'm thinking lightly quilted cotton pouch. You know what would be beautiful? Lightly quilt just the top and the bottom. Do it in single and double stitches, so like alternate. So do little squares or little diamonds, so like 1 inch, not two's too big, 1 inch apart, little diamonds or little squares, and then some of them do it where you stitch 2 lines, so it's fancy. And then if you want to go one step fancier, in the double lines, anytime there's an intersection, right in the middle of that, put a sparkly rivet. I promise that'll be the fanciest looking bag you would have ever made in your life, right? And it would just be scraps and rivets, but like, or here you go. We're sidetracked. Shocker. In my box of goodies, rhinestones, absolutely. Or you could get, I've got these. These are like, you can't really tell, but these are little spikes. So I would do a black one. I've got 3 colored spikes. I've got silver, gold, and gunmetal. And I would do spikes and make it feel goth, right? Fabulous option. Or if you want to do something that's a bit more like country and western, you can get these fake turquoise ones. Now these are, the posts are so short, they're no good for anything but decoration. Like you can't hold a strap with these. They're not strong enough. But that in the middle of a faux cowhide or a suede or an actual leather, but that's really expensive. I'm trying to think of like cheap, fun options. So like a faux suede with quilt lines, so you would get like a tan to mid brown. You would do a light this color thread, and then you would put the turquoise in between the double stitches. That would be epic, right? You would charge more because this takes time and they cost more and all the rest of it, but that would be epic. And then instead of a slip pocket, you could add a zipper pocket. Like if you want to elevate it, there's so many things that we can do to just keep upping and adding. You could, if you're a quilter, you could do, because these are small, you could do like scrap piecing for the whole panel. But just the top. Don't waste your energy on the bottom. Do the bottom in like a generic-y printed something, right? So the front would be all fancy piecing, or if you can do that fabric, that fancy piecing where it looks like a picture, oh my god, you would do a picture on the front, something contrasty on the back, or even vinyl on the back. Definitely vinyl gusset. That would be epic. So many options depending on what you've got in your house. I have a crap ton of these I'm going to eventually use, but not on this. I'll do a different pouch. So I'll pick a third style pouch eventually. So I'll have these that are mainly fabric with gusset ideas. Then I'm going to have Devon pouch, which is probably going to have cotton lining, probably, not definite. And then I want to have a third pouch, and they'll be X amount, and they're all going to have like conchos and like bull heads, and I've got Harry Potter ones, and it's going to have one of them on the center, and that will be the vibe. But I haven't picked a shape. Oh my god, cat, stop it. You're being ridiculous. I've even got star rivets. I bought this for a couple of dollars on, I don't even know where, but they're stars. So you could put stars on your quilts. So many options, people. You are limited by your imagination and the crap you have stored in your house. Hi, Kayleen. Please, oh my god, cat, go to bed. I don't know where he is. He's hiding in the void. Literally, he's hiding somewhere in the dark. I can't see him. Moron. Okay. So we found the center of that, center of that. We've got to find the center of this. Now, I'm touching this, and I'm wondering if this is one of those vinyls I probably should have put interfacing on this bit, but too late now. Oh, you were in the void. Good job, mate. Alright, and then we go down, pinch, snip, best scissors, not ever, but they're very good scissors. They're the best small scissors ever. You were talking to yourself, not the cat. I mean, probably. Nut job. Absolute nutter. Do, 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 do. How many people call me Veronica instead of Victoria? It's a lot. Like an unusually large amount of a lot. Now this one doesn't matter which way is directional, but we do care that the top of the back of this is now going to be at the top of this. And that's the only difference. It still fits the same. If you really wanted to, you could put the handle on an angle on the corner. I don't know why you would, but the point is that you could if you felt the need. The need for speed. No, not that. Just the need in general. My point is that you can put stuff wherever you want. There are no rules and you have free will. You should use it recklessly. I can hear him, but I can't see him. My foot's not leaving that pedal, hey. To be honest, I've never done this where I've moved the handle, but it's gonna work. Like, I'm not worried. I just haven't actually done it before, but it all goes together the same. What we are gonna do though is zip it open. It's gonna be more flexible. They add an hour into reason Ibixes in my name. I'm starting to flag out now. I can feel it. My eyes are getting gritty because I'm just not a night person. The struggle is real, people. The struggle is real. But I'm determined to at least get this half on. How do I do corners without puckers? So technically, if I hold that flat, see that? There's actually quite a lot hanging out. But when I was teaching myself patterns and trying out other people's, they do what's called easing, right? So what I like to do is I like to hold it as the 3D object that it is. I like to push it all in. And then, so if I've just pushed it, right? I've done nothing else. If I sew that right now, we're going to get a pucker right there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this with my fingers to spread that out amongst the whole corner, then clip it in place. And then I'll show you when I'm sewing how I avoid getting puckery bits, because it's all in how I move it under the needle. And I should probably do a masterclass in this because it's very important. But I'm also just going to show you, right, that corner that just had that pucker now doesn't have one. Can you see that? See in there? So the clips are mostly where the seam allowance is going to be. So long as where you're sewing isn't puckering, we don't need to worry about the very edge. Ignore the edge, it's a trap. But holding it like a 3D object absolutely works because you're holding it how it's going to eventually sit. And corners, if I made it so that it perfectly touched all the corner, right? When you go to sew a seam allowance, you're going to get puckers in your gusset. You're going to have the opposite problem because where you're sewing is actually a smaller than where you're at. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So when you're designing a pattern, you need to know the finished size and you need to know the perimeter of the finished size. Then you add seam allowance. That's how it works. Changing diameter. Thank you. I like maths. I don't necessarily like math words. Leave me to it. And I also find that pushing away from me is easier than trying to sit here. I mean, sometimes it does. But did you know, okay, so, and I've done this every time. When I go to put it as a 3D object, I bring it to me and bring it around. So you can do it that way, which actually got me less puckers that time. Or you can do it this way and push your thumbs into the corner. And I literally do that and pretend my thumbs are a hinge. Push it into the corner, right? And then you just hold it there and add some clips really, really quickly. So that's how I clip it. And now I'm going to do my sewing in slow-mo. And this is then going to be the end of the night. And I'm not going to finish this tonight. And I don't even care. But we're going to teach you this. So we always start on a straight bit. Now I understand occasionally that is not an option. When it's an option, start on a straight bit. Anywhere on the straight bit. I personally like to start pretty much in the middle, because you don't want to start too close to the final curve. You'll wreck it, all right? So don't start on the straight bit right next to the curve. You want to start like at least here. Anywhere between here and here is where you want to start on a straight bit. The middle third, if you will. Squish your bag down. This is very important. Don't worry about creasing it. Don't be like, oh no, it's fragile. If it can't handle this, it can't handle carrying anything. Flat. Flat as you can get it. Take off a clip, slide it under, and then I just did this. So I just tucked that so it's as flat as I can get it where I'm going to sew it. We're going to stitch and back stitch because we always back stitch, ladies and gentlemen. Then, moving along. Now, when I get to this corner, my heel and my hand is going to do this. I'm going to bring my elbow in, and what it's going to do is it's going to flick the bag out. So when I go around this corner, why are we laughing at me? Right? We're going to have our arm out. I like to have it about halfway, like perpendicular. Not parallel, perpendicular. Right? I'm going to take and then I'm just going to swing the bag around. And if you swing it right, even if there's a pucker, you won't sew the pucker. It's a magic trick, I swear. Right? So again, I'm going to take this corner. I'm going to try and make it as flat as possible. We're going to stitch. I'm going to get closer to this corner, and you can see me bringing my arm in. And I know it looks like I squished it funny. Did I? That's okay. Just by hitting it. I mean, it's fine. It'll survive, I promise. Straight bits are easy. And then we're going to get close to here. Now, I just took these two fingers and smushed it down because the flatter it sits, the less puckers you're going to potentially get. Right? Squish it down flat. And then swing it in with your whole arm, not just your hand. You'll hurt your wrist. We don't want to do that. You also might hurt your shoulder. I don't know. But that's how I do it, and I never have puckers. How often do you see me have to go back and do pucker fixing? At the start, when I first started learning sewing, I absolutely stuffed up the corners and I had to pull them out. Sometimes it left them because I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I figured out what's wrong. That is how you fix it. And I promise if you do it like that, it'll work every time. I'm going to show you. I didn't even, like, I don't need to check, but we're going to check just in case. Right? It's upside down. There's the handle at the top. See? How cute. No pockets. Anywhere. Swing your whole arm. If you need to physically move on a chair because you have a dodgy shoulder, do that. If that's going to work for you, whatever works, right? I'm so tired, but I really want to show you the other end. The struggle is real. See, now I'm yawning. It's so terrible. As soon as I start sneezing, that's the end. My body's ridiculous, and every morning it sneezes, and every night it sneezes. And as soon as I start sneezing at nighttime, my body's gonna have like an overreaction and pretend like it's getting a head cold and I'm so sick. And the second I lay down, it goes away. My body's got hypochondria for sleep. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so I just did magic. I didn't just do magic. That's how you sew. But here's another thing. If you've tried that and it's just the pattern just won't go together, add a 1/4 inch to the gusset. Just a little bit. Never do more than half. Stop it, Tori. It's now 3:30 a.m. here. Won't take me much for me to start yawning. I'm not trying to send you to yawn, I promise. It's fine. Everything's fine. And always, if you're going to sew my way, you always make the clips face the gusset. If you want to do it where this side's up, you need to sew the opposite to what I just told you. So instead of trying to squish it down, you're going to hold it up like a 3D object and then go around that corner like a 3D object. You can sew it either or, no right or wrong answer. If you prefer it where you have the main side up, right? First of all, change all your clips. Now I have to show you to prove a point to no one, to myself. Right, now we've done it. So let's clip this one on the opposite way. I mean, it's going to end up the same. It's fine. Oh, fluffy pants. It's going to be a long, long time. Always be comfortable when you're sewing. It's why you always see me. You very rarely see me in a dress. Because A, none of you care what I'm wearing. And B, I like to be comfortable. I gotta get out of it. I've just put all those clips on the wrong way. It's a hard habit to get out of, people. But I'm gonna do it just for you. But I'm gonna sit up and concentrate. I love fluffy pants. I love cheap fluffy pants because the fluffiness doesn't stick around for very long. Which is fine. Yeah, what I'm doing is not magic. It's all in that shoulder. I swear it's that easy. Yes. Gotta throw clips. It's not fun if you don't. While I don't like cold weather, I love that now we're in winter and it gets cold enough that I can wear fluffy pants. We must be comfy. I mean, I really do think that you'll have a better time because you're not concentrating on like a bra that's digging in or a t-shirt that's scratchy or something that's too tight and making you uncomfortable. Nobody wants that. The only exception to that rule is if I came on here and was sewing in a costume. Because quite often costumes are not the comfiest things to be in. But I would do it on principle that I'm in a costume. Alright? Bye, Jane. Alright, let's do it the opposite way. So, you've clipped it and you like having this bit up. We're going to sit it up. 3D. Slide it under. Right? Stitch and back stitch, always back stitch. And then I'm going to rest my elbows because otherwise my shoulders get sore. Right, and then we're going to just start bringing it up and around. We're treating it like the 3D object it is, right? I like to do it the other way, but I'm making a point that we can do it this way, but you need to constantly keep it in its state of 3D-ness. Whereas the other way, you have to squish it down and move your arm accordingly. So it depends on what mobility issues you have. I put my clips on the other way because the needle plate on my HD9 sticks up and catches. Oh, that's annoying. Right, so we're keeping it up. We're going around. We're going to bring it up. We're getting around that corner, around the bend, but we're keeping it as a 3D object. So whatever way works best for you is what you should do. All right? And beyond that, I don't know what to tell you. And then I'll show you that one too. Since we're sharing is caring kind of a moment. I'm not doing any more sewing today though. Like that's it. That's it for me, folks. But, and I didn't even try that hard because I was busy talking to you. Not a single pucker anywhere. Look at that. Bam! No right or wrong way. If you have bad shoulders, do it the vertical way. You got to feed it down. Doesn't matter which. No puckers every time. And I promise that would have been very easy to do a pucker in because it was a bit bumpy, right? So this is what it'll look like finished. It's just not finished because, oh my God, I thought I put it on upside down then. I just had like a freak out moment. I'm not going to do the binding now because it's bedtime. Or at least no more sewing time. But how cool is that one? It needs a Tory squish. I'm aware. I'll do it after it's got binding. But both ways. Looks different, but it's not really. Just pretty all round. Love it. Like I said, I'll bind it tomorrow. But we got great curves. We got no puckers. We didn't even try that hard, I promise. I've still got my foot on the pedal in case the cat stands on it, but the machine's off, so I can probably stop that now. But that's my masterclass in corners. Maybe I'll do it as a pre-recorded video where we're all up close and personal. Oh my God, cat. And he's off. But yeah, depends on which way you put your clips and which way you face up. Obviously, you sew it two different ways. You've got this. Try it. I have faith that you've got this. I promise it's not as hard as you think. And this is a great way to start because you've literally watched me make the exact thing. Same thing with galumpus if you want bigger ones. It doesn't always work for every pattern. So there's one pattern that's like the bane of my existence. And so I just cut the corners off because I'm just not in the mood to fight it. And that's Stella by Swoon. The corners just never fit, no matter how much magicking I do, never. So I just trim it off every time. Nobody's any the wiser. The bag still looks amazing. It's fine. Alright, I'm gonna go to bed because I'm feeling delirious. But I was also here for 2.5 hours after dinner. So that for me, I'm classifying as a huge win. I did definitely sew slower than I normally would. So nighttime sewing is slower than daytime sewing. However, 1 3/4 of a pouch is still better than nothing, which I probably would have done if I wasn't live. So we might try some more nighttime lives, but not tomorrow because it's the weekend. Good night, everybody.